Welcome to this special episode of Manufacturing Tech Australia, coming to you from the Modern Manufacturing Expo at the Sydney Showgrounds on the traditional lands of the Wongal people.
We're here on day one of the Modern Manufacturing Expo at Sydney Park 2023. It's joined here with the Workplace Health and Safety Show, also on at the same time. There's lots of people streaming in the front door and lots of people queued up to get their badges out the front. I'll soon be joined by Daniel Gronowski and we're going to head over to the Smart Manufacturing Conference and see what's going on over there. I'm here with Daniel Gronowski. We're over at the Smart Manufacturing Conference in Sydney 2023. We just heard from the Honourable Minister for Innovation and Science, Mr. Ed Husic, talk about the National Reconstruction Fund, the priorities for Australian manufacturing over the next few years.
I love the focus on value adding for resources and interestingly a battery strategy that we can look forward to.
Absolutely, and the robotics strategy, and it seems like there's a lot of things on the go, so looking forward to manufacturing here in Oz.
Cool.
So I'm here with Tim and Ishan from the Association of Manufacturing Excellence. Thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Thanks for having us, Paul.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Association of Manufacturing Excellence and what you guys do?
Sure thing, Paul. So AME Australia has been a not-for-profit, volunteer-led organization for 22 years. We support our members on their excellence journey, and we support members all across Australia in 18 sectors, not just manufacturing, which is amazing, but it gives us a broad perspective to share, learn, and grow along that pathway. We support them with a range of activities, and in New South Wales, maybe Ishan can share a little bit about what we do for our local members while we're here.
Thanks, Paul. And not only in New South Wales, but across all states in Australia, what we provide is, I guess, as Tim said, not so much in manufacturing, but any organisation that's driven to lead towards excellence. It can be a lonely job, right, Paul?
Absolutely.
Because you're driven by your passion and to do well, but geez, it's a tough gig. How do we engage these people? How do we drive continuous improvement? So what we offer is a variety of connecting with other organizations, so going and seeing what good looks like, so site tours, right, but also listening to thought leaders in the industry, so we offer master classes, but also bringing in the best of the best who have been their practitioners as a way of workshops, and all this for a very low fee, because we believe in sharing this knowledge and helping the industry as a sector.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a not-for-profit. It's run, by volunteer members. I'm a member in Victoria, so I'm a little bit biased, but...
Well, not just a member, Paul. It's great to have you on our committee, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess part of our understanding of that complexity or that challenge that Ishan was talking about is making sure that we engage every level of the organization, from frontline programs all the way to our executive roundtables. So we've really made it our mission to actually practice what we preach and ensure that customer centricity is there, because us ourselves as members, and we want to actually benefit from this too. So it's a real pleasure and privilege to be part of AME, and we look forward to helping you on your journey too.
And Ishan, you've been on the show before, so I guess if our listeners want to have a bit of a listen to what it's all about, they can jump on that episode and hear what operational excellence is all about.
What I'm amazed by is that even whether you're a multinational or whether you're a mid-tier business, people have the same problems, the issues. It's only the number of zeros in your P&L that differentiates the size of the problem, but there's something in it for everyone. So would love you to come and explore. And being a not-for-profit means it's very affordable membership.
Yeah, I think there's two things that really stand out for me. One is that expert experience, the knowledge that we share with members. The second thing is that networking, getting everyone together, helping solve problems together. It's probably the most important thing. We've got some events coming up. Like if I plug Victoria here for a second, we've got a couple of breakfast events coming up in a few weeks' time, which is going to be all about frontline leadership. It's going to be talking about how instead of those sort of planned out long-term strategic planning, it's all about short-term. What's your pain points? How are we going to solve those and start with those? So, and we've got an expert, Ross, talking about that. So looking forward to those ones. I've also got leadership dinners as well. So it's all about getting members together, collaborating, communicating, and solving problems together.
Yeah, absolutely. So in addition to that, we're and as Ishan said, we're very fortunate to have international thought leaders as well. So our next executive roundtable, we actually have Katie Anderson joining us, an author of Learning to Lead, Leading to Learn. So it's amazing. We also have the opportunity, just like we are here at the Modern Manufacturing Expo, but also for you to join us at the AME International Conference in Cleveland at the end of October, which we actually have a special rate for members as well. So if you're interested in that, do get in touch. I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere in the podcast as well. So.
Cool. Excellent. Thanks so much, Tim and Nishan, for coming on the show.
Paul, our pleasure.
Cheers.
Thanks very much, Paul. All the best.
Cheers.
We're here with Delta Print 3D and Caracol. Marco, nice to meet you.
Hi, Daniel.
Talking very large format 3D printing. So tell me about what you guys are bringing into the country and when the first unit will arrive.
Okay. Yeah, we just signed an agreement, a distribution agreement with Delta Print Australia. So basically we are based in Italy, so we have 2 production facilities in Italy. We are in the going global phase. We have recently opened a production facility, assembly facility in Austin, Texas, for the North American market. So our technology is based on large additive manufacturing technology. The application of this technology are wide, so we can go from automotive to aerospace to transportation, marine, creative industry. So we can play with different kind of geometry. We have no limits basically, so we can print from 1 meter to 15 meters, 20 meters.
So realistically it's a robot arm, but the secret sauce is in the nozzle and the software, right?
Correct.
And you said that you can use pellet material. What kind of material limitations you got, or is it
any kind of polymer?
Any kind of polymer.
Yeah, any kind of plastic, recycled PLA, recycled PP, ABS glass fiber, ABS carbon fiber. We recently developed post-industrial PETG, classified fire resistant for transportation and shops furniture. That's a huge innovation for the world.
Have you got any flagship users over in Italy? What are they making with this?
One of the best projects was the Beluga boat.
Okay. How long does it take to print one of them?
7 days. It was a 7 days process with just small CNC, just to final touching it. And then there was a primer coverage, and then we put and sail.
So we can all have a custom boat in a week. Is that what you're saying?
Sure. You can. We recently developed a 7-meter boat.
And I understand Delta Print's going to be the distributor, but they also offer 3D printing services. So if anyone wants to trial it, they can come and talk to Delta Print and give it a go.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, and when will it be here?
In April, Delta Print will have its own system. So Caracol system.
Nice to have you.
Thank you, Daniel.
David, thanks for joining us on Manufacturing Tech Australia.
Thank you, Paul. How are you? Thanks for having us here.
No problem, mate. You're right across a hall from us. So we were chatting earlier about iPart 360. What I love about this, because the show is all about design tools, manufacturing, technologies, all this cool stuff that people need to know about, right? So tell us a bit about iPart 360 and how you're working with manufacturers to solve all their problems.
Well, iPart 360 was developed 4 or 5 years ago, and it addresses the problem of working with companies nationally and internationally, how to exchange data, give data effectively and efficiently, and trying to eliminate costly errors in manufacture by having the right information at your fingertips.
And you were talking before about how you're integrating with SolidWorks and Inventor, and you basically got plugins to grab that data and then make it into this beautiful, easy to understand interface,
So we have properly designed plugins for both SolidWorks and Inventor. So taking the information straight from the design stage, and then that flows all the way down to the end user through the whole supply chain network. We also have 2 more plugins in development. One's for AEC. We have one called iPart AEC, that's for architectural engineering and construction. And then early next year we've got an iPart 2D, which is for the schematics and AutoCAD sort of environment. But the problems we faced, we're working with companies like Schneider and a few other companies. They send information to India, China, and that's fine to get the information there, but we have a communication problem. And many times, and you're probably well aware of, parts get made to the wrong drawings, wrong versions, and somebody wasn't here, they didn't get the drawing and it's made. So 2 important things was to have the information readily available 24/7, live. So as soon as the information comes from the CAD system and it's saved, live, globally in 15 languages, this software and data is available to anyone that's allowed to use it.
So kind of like a PDM in that it kind of pulls things together, but you're focusing more on inventory and proper part management and part manufacturing?
It's primarily focused on a part.
Yeah.
So to get a part made, all the information, drawings, production warehouse, anything that's connected to a part, the software then shows in the supply chain, if someone's in a warehouse part of the menu, they'll only see what affects them. If they're in a fabrication, they'll see what's them. If they're in the service department, they'll get interactive parts catalogues, which they can have on their phone and they can pull it apart. For this type of model here, you can actually pull this model apart. You can identify it, it'll pop up here and tell you what it is. You can measure. And the beauty of this is you could have 1,000 products, 10,000 drawings, it's all in your pocket. We go from an iPad to a computer, and we even actually have it on an iPod.
Yeah, right.
So you can actually 360 to view the software actually on an iPod too.
And you mentioned before even NFC, so you can scan using NFC tags to find parts and things
That's
like that,
right.
bring that into the system.
So we have a customer at the moment that's embedding NFC tags into fiberglass.
Yeah.
We have another customer that's looking at embedding NFC tags into polyurethane, so they can scan a part. So you can go up to a part or a product, it's all customizable. So you can ask when it was made, you can get the data sheets on when it was made, is it in warranty, where it belongs, and then you can track it down. So even through maintenance, if the product has to be maintained, that can all be done on there. So if you come in with a part, you straight away you can look at the maintenance history or the revision history. So the other thing too, if this was a chair you got made, you can scan the chair. If you want to find spare parts for the chair, or they say it doesn't work anymore, they don't have it, or you can go straight to the supplier that you're interested in that part.
That's one of the big problems, isn't it, with change management?
Yeah.
You sell something to a customer 10 years later, you don't know what revision those parts were made to and all the sub-assemblies.
So we keep that history. So just say you made a carburetor for a car and it belonged 6 years ago, you can pull all that information, all the drawings, all the files for that version 6 years ago, and then you can make the part. So we look after the history as well.
So I love it, solving real world problems.
So yeah.
Thanks
so
for coming on the show today, David.
No, so appreciate it. Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you for your time.
Vikram, thanks for joining us on Manufacturing Tech Australia. What do you think of the Modern Manufacturing Expo 2023?
Oh, I'm pretty excited to be here. There's lots going on. So from the Smart Manufacturing Conference, so I've been shuttling between the Smart Manufacturing Conference, the Expert Arena, meeting the exhibitors. So there are a lot of them, and plus there's a safety show going on as well. And there are two separate sessions going on there. So heard this morning from Minister Ed Husick, and then followed up with John Broadbent, delivering or talking about Industry 4, the approach to Industry 4, which was obviously it's a pleasure always listening to John Broadbent with his expertise in Industry 4. And then the Expert Arena, so we have had a few sessions since the morning. Inventory management, and I delivered one.
I was going to say there was an expert there called Vikram earlier. Looked just like you.
I just delivered one on servitization. So again, a different concept of using Industry 4 as an enabler to advanced services. And then I attended one. There was a session at 11 o'clock. It was all about using wearables to help business return to work. So there's a lot to see in the next 2 days.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Thanks for joining us on the podcast, mate.
Oh, good.
See you back in Melbourne.
Yep. See ya. Bye.
Cheers. So that's a wrap for day one at the Modern Manufacturing Expo 2023 in Sydney. What were your highlights, Dan?
Oh, I'm looking forward to getting a 3D printed boat, so I'll be calling them up in April and figuring that out.
Very interesting. And I had a good chat to the guys at AME here, Association of Manufacturing Excellence, so have a listen. I guess that's a wrap for day one. Had a bunch of really great interviews with some really great companies.
Yeah.
And we'll be back here tomorrow and do a few more.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Till then.
Thanks for tuning in to Manufacturing Tech Australia, coming to you from the Modern Manufacturing Expo at the Sydney Showgrounds on the traditional lands of the Wongal people. For more information, jump on the manufacturingtech.au website.